The evil empire of the gaming industry's definitely taken a lot of heat for their terrible decision making lately. They have been scrutinized time and time again by gamers for their terrible loot box decisions they've made, and they've also been facing pretty hefty lawsuits over them, and they lost one not even that long ago. They're being accused of stealing character designs from indie developers for Apex Legends. They've put full-blown advertisements into games into the middle of gameplay, pissing consumers off even more than they were before. They've literally repurposed games like FIFA and slapped $60 to $70 price tags on the new editions of them, and now they've decided to take it even a step further when it comes to pushing the boundaries of consumers, seeing how much they can do before consumers finally stop supporting them. And when it comes to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, they are offering consumers a $150 collector's edition that doesn't even include a physical or digital copy of the game. So I had tweeted this out yesterday. Here is the initial image of the legendary cache that we saw, and when I was first looking at this legendary crate or collector's edition of the game, I actually thought that it looked pretty cool. You get some pins, you get 3 pins from what the picture shows. I always like the idea of collector's pins, even though they're super cheap to make custom. I think that they look cool and they're just like a nice touch in collector's editions. You get a key art steel case. I'm all for, key art collections, steel cases. Even those steel cases, even for games, go down to like super low discounted prices. It's still something nice that you can have in a physical edition of something. You get a 1-to-1 scale replica helmet, which I thought was a little bit iffy just because we all remember the last time a helmet was put into a special edition of a game. Fallout 76 wasn't the best game, and the helmet definitely had its problems, like I'm going to talk about. And then you just have 2 pieces of paper. You have an art print, which I'm not saying is bad to include. I think that it is a nice touch, but you also get an acceptance letter. Overall, it does look like an okay, pretty standard collector's edition, but then if you go to the description of the Mass Effect Legendary Cache, everyone is starting to notice one big problem with this special edition. It comes with the perfect addition to any Mass Effect fans collection. This bundle includes a replica wearable N7 helmet with LED light effects. I think that that's pretty cool. It actually does something. Not only is it wearable, but it does have some LED light effects. We don't know how cheap it is yet, so maybe it's awful, terrible, no one's gonna care about it, but it sounds like a cool idea. You get the steel case, an art print, an enamel spinner pin, an N7 acceptance letter, and a full color box. Leave it to EA to point out the fact that they actually have printing and marketing on their box. It is a full color box. We put these into our best printers. Okay. Plus, get an exclusive FemShep canvas print when you purchase through the BioWare gear store, I should say. Note, listen to this. This bundle does not include the Mass Effect Legendary Edition game. Remastering the Mass Effect games is something I'm actually pretty excited for. I know after Mass Effect Andromeda, a lot of us were wondering what was going to happen next in terms of the franchise and just Mass Effect in general, but to sell a special collector's edition of a game for $150, which definitely isn't a pretty penny, yet not include the game, is classic EA. I mean, it is garbage that they do this to people. There are plenty of people out there that I'm sure just saw the pre-order go up, went, oh my gosh, I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, I'm so looking forward to this game, clicked pre-order, yet didn't realize it didn't come with the game, because you'd assume for something so freaking expensive, you'd at least get a digital download code of this video game. This game game is $60, and I do know that it comes with the 3 remasters, so it's as if you're paying $20 in addition, but right now, we only know that you can get it in this $60 bundle. There's no way to purchase them separately. Maybe they will end up selling them separately digitally, but right now, this is still a $60 game, so they expect you to pay $150 and then $60 on top of that. I mean, this is so freaking scummy. This is a scummy, low move by EA. I mean, any company doing this deserves pissed off fans. A company who would try to scam their consumers like this doesn't deserve much sympathy. I had tweeted this out, and a lot of you guys didn't actually know this. I said, so you're telling me I'm expected to pay $150 for a helmet, a pin I could have custom made online for $20, and a few pieces of paper that I could print out myself, then be expected to pay another $60 whole dollars for the damn game. I think we all remember the last time a company tried to sell a replica helmet for a game's release. Fallout 76 T-15B collector's helmet recalled after potential mold exposure. All we can do is hope that the company doing this helmet is different, but there's no comments on the manufacturer of it yet when it comes to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, but the limited edition T-15B power helmet manufactured by Chronicle and sold at GameStop this summer, this was back in 2019, has been recalled due to a mold exposure with the fabric on the inside of the one-size-fits-all wearable collectible. It says this replica in particular comes from the series' most recent entry, Fallout 76. Maybe the Mass Effect Legendary Edition will be a complete failure. I mean, let's look at Fallout 76. It was the last game to do the collector's helmet. This recall appears to affect about 20,000 units that have been distributed through the retailer's online store, but luckily it looks like no health-related incidents involving the T-51B power helmet collectible have been reported in the United States. So that's at least something that's good that came out of it. No one was, harmed by it at all. But it still just kind of makes me feel like, ooh, remember the last time this happened? Remember the last time we put out a collector's edition helmet for a game? It didn't go too positive, that's for sure. So I actually wanted to go to the initial tweet that I put out because too many people didn't know, first of all, that this game was $60 freaking dollars, but they also didn't know that the $150 collector's edition didn't even contain a copy of the game. So someone said, what the heck, a steelbook with no game, typical EA? The helmet's no better than a $10 POS that will crumble if you look at it wrong, I bet. These game companies are just getting greedy with stuff like this. Someone else said, it's EA. What did we expect? I know that it's very unfortunate that this keeps happening and bad situations keep happening with EA. A lot of people really used to like EA, but I do agree. At this point, it's EA. What do we expect? They are a terrible company at this point. I mean, they've always been pretty bad, but they've really pumped it up lately. Someone said, hard pass on all of this. I like the idea of the legendary game. I think that the game idea sounds really cool, having all of these remasters in one disc launching at the same time. I do like that idea, especially if you want to replay the games or you've never gotten to experience the games. I don't think that $20 per game really is bad, but at the same time, looking at this collector's edition, this is outrageous. This is ridiculous. Someone said, hashtag greedy EA. But that's all that I really had to talk about in this video. It is so disheartening to see a company doing something really, really scammy like this. I think that they should at least be including a digital copy of the game, but they expect people to purchase a helmet, a couple of pieces of paper, and a pin. for such an outrageous amount of money. If this was under $100, if this was like $90 or $80, I definitely think that people would be more accepting to it. But you have to pay $150 and then $60 on top of that for the game itself. Hashtag greedy EA all the freaking way. But let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next one really soon.